Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video today. I want to talk with you how to cope with present energies. As many of you feel that the energy that is present right now is quite hard to handle. And it feels like we just constantly need to have ourselves in check. Many people wrote us that they're experiencing a sense of insomnia, like they are waking up in the middle of the night. Some people are experiencing intense downloads. Some people are kind of experiencing awakening of psychic senses, like visions are coming to you or voices are coming to you. Or you're starting to channel, like you start to experience incredible ideas. Or many intense energies from the past are coming to the surface. If any of that is happening to you, it's due to the energy cleansing process, the change in energy systems, in energy grids that are happening during this time. And this energy changes and shifts will be happening, and I think they will be happening at least for the next 2 months. As intense as it is right now. The point is that you understand for yourself that you know you can handle this and you know that everything is already taken care of. You're being taken care of. You're actually looking over yourself from this. You know, if you would for a moment go out of this analytical perception of your life and you would close your eyes and you would observe yourself from this higher point of view, you would recognize that everything you're going through was so necessary for you so you can create your life as sustainable as possible. Sustainability is something we're walking slowly into. And whatever was not sustainable for us is being shaken and is slowly falling apart. So what's important is that you stay focused on what stays. There's always something that stays. There's always unchangeable part of you that will stay forever. It's the part of you that doesn't die. It's the part of you that doesn't change. It's the part of you that is divinely perfect. Divinely perfect is actually a beautiful word you can use here because you will recognize there is a part of me that is not changing, that is actually just becoming revealed to myself. I'm becoming more aware of this part of me that makes me me. And I'm starting to wonder how can I express more of this part of myself and what is suppressing it? What is suppressing this part of myself in my life so I can slowly ditch these things, so I can slowly let go of these things. So many of you are becoming aware right now what is suppressing you. Like what kind of people are suppressing your true self. And when it comes to true self, it's the word we often hear. But truly, the true self means how can you express yourself? How, what is the natural state you experience for yourself? Something that feels the most natural to you. What is it? For me, it's creativity. It's being grounded. It's being inspired. When I feel these things, when I feel these energies, I feel myself. I feel like I'm thriving in these things. So it doesn't matter how I will feel. It doesn't matter what happens in my life. If I'm able to tap into inspiration, if I'm able to ground myself, if I'm able to be creative, I will be able to express myself. I will be able to thrive. Doesn't matter what's happening. Doesn't matter how challenging my life will be. And that's how I know how to get into myself and express myself, how to be of service. Because I think many of us, our lives are kind of shaky right now because so many things that worked in the past are not working anymore. Doesn't matter if it's in business. Doesn't matter if it's in personal growth, in spiritual growth, anything that comes from external concepts is being questioned. Only so the truth can come to the surface. It's like, everything is kind of being filtered and the truth will stay. What's not truth will fall apart. And that's why so many people who are not walking in truth are feeling like they're really, really shaky right now. So in the collective, there's a lot of stressful energy, a lot of chaotic energy, because people just don't know what's happening. Well, what's happening, life is calling you into truth, into authenticity. And again, authenticity is again this word that we often hear and we don't know what it means, because authenticity can't be forced. Like when you come to the point where you recognize, well, I'm only agreeing to expressing what resonates with me. I'm only agreeing to a life I really want to live. And I'm only setting standards for myself. I'm allowing to myself. I don't go below that. I don't go below that because this is what I deserve. This is what I'm worthy of. This is what I know that I can have, that I can create, that I can maintain for myself and for people around me. I want to be an example of that. When you stand in yourself like that, you stand in power, you stand in abundance, and you start generating this energy that is new, that is fresh for you. But this is a sustainable energy because it comes from within you. Like, if in the past you felt powerful because you had a lot of money, this energy is not sustainable because it's coming from external sources. Now, most often people need to lose this money or need to experience a certain sense of loss so they become exposed to the fear that was driving their behavior, so they were able to maintain this financial situation, only to recognize how much of the fear was actually driving their behaviors. So once you deal with this fear, you recognize that actually you don't want to do these things anymore. You actually want to start doing something new, something that is aligned with you, with your heart's desire. And your heart's desire is something you've come here at the first place. So what is the thing you've come here at the first place? Right now, many of you may be already familiar with this sense, and you may be still afraid of it or scared of it, or you may be wondering, well, how can I support myself with this thing? Well, keep wondering because you will find it out. So how to cope with all of these very intense phases right now? Well, the first thing that you will find out for yourself is that you need a very stable and healthy body. You need a very stable and healthy body. And what our bodies need the most? They need vibrant nutrition. It's a food that we consume that make us feel alive. Like during this time, I'm making a lot of green juices. It's something, when I drink it, I just feel vibrant. I feel alive. So I'm doing a lot of this right now. And I'm avoiding the food that makes my energy drain out. In the past, I was noticing, well, certain food was making me feel like I'm completely drained out after I'm finishing that meal. So when I've started noticing what kind of food is giving me this sense of lack of energy, I've started avoiding it. I've actually stopped eating it. Until at some point I've recognized, well, there's not many foods that resonate with me at this point. So I've recognized, well, maybe my body just needs cleansing. So right now I'm in this cleansing phase where I'm not actually eating much, but I'm purifying my system. And if you really listen to your body, you will notice that at any phase, your body will give you a sign what it needs. Does it need more of this? Does it need more of this? Sometimes you can communicate it with colors, like what kind of color of food your body needs the most. For me, I've noticed right now I need green color a lot. So really play with that. That's the first thing that will help you so much. Then your body needs a lot of water, but make sure that it's pure water, that it's not the poisoned one with fluoride or this little tiny plastic things and garbage. Make sure that it's pure. I'm using a filter for water that works quite a lot. I think 99.9% it purifies the water. So make sure that you're consuming water that is cleansing your body, not poisoning it. And when you have this in check, then make sure that you're staying active. Your body is an animal, and animals need movement. That's when we tap into clarity and movement. We actually speed up the process of oxygen, of blood flow through the veins of our body, so the cleansing process can speed up, so the body can actually express the toxins out of the system. That's something that you need right now. And actually what you will notice when you're purifying your body, you will notice that you're not so acceptable anymore for these lower frequencies of fear, of sadness, of depression, of anxiety that's present in the collective cloud. And you're becoming more aware of your authentic energy, of your natural energy. It will be much easier for you to shake off the energy that is not yours. So at this point, it's really important to recognize what is your unique energy. How does your unique energy feels like, especially if you're more empathic, so you can notice what is not your energy. Well, every time I'm not feeling myself, it means I'm feeling someone else. I'm feeling something else. When I'm not feeling myself, it means I'm feeling something else. So you need to learn to shake it off. Sometimes going for a long walk or going for a run or doing a workout. I found out for myself that what's really helpful is lifting heavy weights. To me, it helps me to nourish my masculine energy, because I'm a creative person. I know feminine energy quite well. I know how to express it. But I also love the masculine aspect that is, creating order in my life, structuring things, clear and constructive thinking. And then lifting heavy weights help me to be in balance, to be really stable. Every time I'm lifting heavy weights, I experience a sense of clarity like nowhere else. So it really helps me. And I just want you to find for yourself something that really helps you to get in the center. For some, it's yoga. For others, it's Tai Chi. For others, it's running. For others, it's walking. Make sure that every single day you dedicate at least 1 hour to being active, to being in the flow state, to being in such a flow that it will remind you of the value of life, right? If you don't experience the flow state, you don't know what life is all about. Life is constantly flowing, constantly moving. And when you don't move, you kind of unplug yourself from the stream of life. And when you unplug yourself, it feels like you're not receiving the life force that is meant for you. And when you feel like you're not receiving the life force that is meant for you, you will feel unplugged. And it's not a nice sense to be in. So I want you to find an activity that really makes you feel alive. This is how you make sure that your body stays strong, stable, and pure. Then breathing practices can also help you to connect your mind with your body. When you're doing breathing practices, what happens, you start aligning your heart's rhythm with the rhythm of nature. So it starts happening when you start creating a coherent breathing. So if you feel often anxious, it's because your heart's rhythm is much, much faster than the nature's rhythm. So you start to feel out of alignment with nature, and therefore you don't feel the laws of nature that are working with you. So if you want to get in alignment with breathing. If you start doing breaths where you use 6 seconds in and 6 seconds out, and do it for 5 to 10 minutes, you will start to feel the coherence between your brain and your heart. And when you experience coherence between your brain and your heart, you will go from this high beta brainwave frequency where you're really alert and aware and a bit stressed, maybe a bit in this fight or flight. You will go into more alpha brainwave frequency where you become more aware, but also more creative. It's more pleasant state to be in. Not that you're in this pleasant state all day long, but you get into this pleasant state so you can look at your life from a different perspective. In this state, you become much more, let's say, solution-oriented rather than problem-oriented. This is a really important thing. So when you're looking at your life, especially right now when all these chaotic energies from the past are coming to the surface, you can just look how life is naturally navigating you through these phases towards the right possible solutions for you. You will notice that your gut feeling is actually orchestrating everything. It is navigating you through all these phases, and you just need to pay attention to it. There's no need to be all chaotic and afraid, because actually nature is guiding you. You just need to learn to tap into your nature and let go of the fear. Letting go of the fear is something that is really important, and actually replacing this old attitude with the new one, with the creative one. So that's how you will align your mind with nature. Then, from a spiritual standpoint, what can you do to cope with these very intense energies? Well, from a spiritual perspective, it's important that you have alignment of your centers. Like this third eye center, you can think clearly, you can see things clearly. Clarity is so important. You need to have clarity in your mind. When there's no clarity in your mind, there's chaos. So write down your thoughts. When you feel like your mind is full of information, write it down. Write down what you're thinking about, and it will lead to clarity. Then write down your vision for your future. It will lead to clarity for your future. Write down the vision for your future and have certain affirmations. Affirmations will help you to design a mental frame. So it doesn't matter how challenging your life is, you will hold to that mental frame that works for you, that reminds you of your power, of your strength. This is your third eye center. Then you have your heart center, your emotional intelligence. Your emotional intelligence is calling you into emotional regulation, into remembrance that your emotions are producing chemistry in your body. So if you want to have a healthy body, it's not enough to eat healthy. It's not enough to drink healthy. It's not enough to breathe correctly. You also need to live in a pleasant emotional environment. So your heart center then is reminding you to tap into the emotions of your future. So have a vision of your emotional future home, what or how your future self feels like. When you have a clarity around how your future self feels like, then you can tap into the energy of it. Doesn't matter how afraid you may be right now, because your life may be crumbling a little bit. Tap into the energy of your future, because through emotions, you're communicating with the field of life. In ancient Greek, they called it ether. And ether was like the fifth element, you know, the air, the water, the fire, and the earth. The fifth one was ether. Ether is still present, and through your emotions, you're communicating with it. When you tap into the emotions of your future, you start communicating with the field. So events in your life can align for you so you can get to where you're intending to go. This ether and this matrix is only reflecting back to you what is in your self, what is in your system still present and you haven't acknowledged it. And emotional intelligence then gives a sign to ether that you're being now in control of your internal world, and therefore, because you've started manipulating your emotions into a more coherent state, now you're ready to receive your manifestations. And then the root energy center is reminding you of connection with Earth, with Mother Gaia, how connected you feel with nature. That's the sacred connection that also makes sure that your all other energy centers can receive the nutrition, the right energy, the right information for you to function how you're meant to function. The root energy center for you right now requires awareness. I am being connected with nature, and through connection, I receive anything I need, and I give anything the nature needs. I'm being of service. I'm being here as someone who honors life. And I want to be an example of it, and I'm being an example of it, and I will stay and I will be of service to others. So when you embody this energy, life will support you, and that's how you can cope with these very intense energies right now. My friends, I hope you found great value in today's video. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Go and check out our fresh new store, AttractPassion.com, where you can find my art, all of my art that I've created in the recent years. Thank you so much for your support. With that, you're supporting this mission, and I'm truly grateful for you. Until next time, one love.